Hey, this is George. Have you ever heard of Anchor.fm? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Number two, there are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can hear it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Check out Anchor.fm on the iOS and Android systems.
Need psychotherapy online or in person? Check out tinyurl.com/THT psychotherapy. The George Brassey podcast is made possible with funding provided from Brassey Global Strategies, LLC, a leading political consulting, public policy, government affairs, and research firm. Are you interested in running for elected office? Need advice? Call or email George, 708-769-5015. Brassey Global Strategies 1@gmail.com.
Snowstorm forces Chicago Heights to close City Hall. Snowstorm forces Chicago Heights to close City Hall, Chicago Heights, Illinois. Snow was on everybody's mind at Wednesday night's Chicago Heights City Council meeting. The Chicago area was hit by a major snowstorm, and Chicago Heights had about 10 inches of snow dumped on it Tuesday and Wednesday. City Hall was closed Wednesday afternoon because of the winter storm, and garbage pickup on Wednesday and Thursday was also postponed. And students at Chicago Heights School District 163 went to remote learning Wednesday because of the storm. The mayor's chief of staff, Karen Zaranti, thanked city workers for their efforts. She told the council that city workers had been working round the clock to keep city streets open and safe, and would continue to do so throughout the duration of the storm. Fifth Ward Alderman George Brassey also lauded city workers, saying, "The snowstorm we have experienced in recent days has been terrible, but the City of Chicago Heights Public Works Department has done an excellent job in maintaining the roads during the snowstorm. Each and every resident's request that was submitted to my office was addressed in a quick and efficient fashion." Christopher Bykoskas, 4th Ward Alderman, added that Public Works is working diligently, doing a great job cleaning up the streets. In other business, Zaranti said that the city would be hosting its second Illinois Department of Public Health clinic offering vaccinations and booster shots 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday, February 12 at City Hall. The council also approved an ordinance renewing the city's employee health insurance policy and premium. The city expects to see premiums remain roughly the same. The city's benefits and insurance consultant told the council that he was able to negotiate lower rates with its insurer, Blue Cross/Blue Shield PPO, despite higher prescription drug usage by the 231 employees covered under the policy. Snowstorm forces Chicago Heights to close City Hall.
Before we get to the interview, I just want to tell you about our newest sponsor, Union Signs and Printing. Union Signs and Printing is a union sign shop located near Chicago, Illinois, that specializes in the production of corrugated plastic lawn signs used in applications ranging from political and election usages to unions, schools, and businesses. They also produce a vast array of other products, including American-made, union-printed t-shirts, banners, bio cards, literature, door hangers, business cards, and trifold. Get a hold of Union Signs and Printing at 815-740-1688 or find them on the internet at unionsignsandprinting.com. And don't forget to tell them you heard about their services on the George Brassey podcast. I'm so glad to welcome Village Clerk from the Village of Matteson, Yumeka Brown, to the podcast. Yumeka, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me today, George. It is truly a pleasure to be on your podcast.
Before we get into your recent announcement that you're running for Commissioner of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District,
Can you talk a little bit about what inspired you to run for village clerk in Madison, Illinois?
Sure. So I have always been involved in my community. I served as a basketball coach at the community center for the children, doing back to school drives and, just helping out wherever is needed. But back in 2016, I heard a speech from President Obama who said, get off the sidelines, grab a clipboard and some petitions and make a difference instead of complaining from the sidelines. So that's exactly what I did. I wanted to apply my background and experience to be a positive change in the community.
Clerk Brown, do you end up having to unseat an incumbent, or was it an open seat for village clerk?
It was an open seat in the village of Matteson. It's funny because I had actually moved into the village in November of 2016, and I was on the ballot in April of 2017. The clerk, after 16 years, she decided that she was going to step down and retire. And so the seat was open, and I ran against two other lovely ladies in the community.
And Clerk Brown, the village of Madison is vying for a casino license. Are you able to give listeners any kind of update on where we're at on that in that process?
As of right now, there are 4 communities that are looking to also have the casino, which is Homewood, the village of Matteson, Linwood, and Calumet City. The village met with the gaming board a week ago, and we are still waiting on additional information, but we are one of the 4 communities that will be participating or seeking to have the casino here.
In your opinion, why is Madison the best choice?
Matteson is the best choice in the spirit of the bill to bring a casino to the Southland region. It was to help communities that have been disinvested. As many people know, in 2015, or maybe even a few years before that, we lost a lot of our economic development. So the true spirit of the bill was to bring the casino to a community that it could really help. I think Matteson in that case definitely fits the criteria. And I also think as far as being the best location, we're right off of I-57. I think that is good. This is a great corridor to bring the casino here. Our household income on average is over $80,000 per house. So we have the residual income here that that could be spent in the casino. I think it will give Matteson an economic boost in the Southland and allow us to build around the casino and bring more infrastructure into our town. So that's why I think that we're the best. And I'm hoping that the gaming board sees that as well. I know that my mayor, Sheila Chalmers Curran, is fighting really hard along with the board of trustees and staff to make that happen because we truly believe that we are the best place for the casino.
Clerk Brown, you mentioned that it was a speech by President Obama, and I believe that was actually his farewell address where he said those things. Were you interested in politics prior to deciding to run in Madison, like growing up as a kid?
No, I have never been interested in politics. I've always been a behind the scenes person and, helping others, but never really wanting to be in the forefront of things. It was actually my younger brother that, he saw the potential in me to run for office. And I was just really like, no, I think that's more so for you. But sometimes people see things in you that you don't really even see in yourself. I've always been a fighter. I've always wanted to represent the underserved, the marginalized communities, the marginalized Black and Brown communities, but never in a political way, more so personally, more so in the community. And, he said, I think you would be really good at this. And I thought about it and I thought about it. And literally on the day petitions were due, I called my brother and I said, I'm going to do it. because I had, gotten to a point in my life where I found my voice and I decided I wanted to use it in a different way. So I submitted the petitions and I ran. But no, I had never thought about running for office at all. And even, running countywide right now, sometimes I just sit back in awe, like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But when you believe in something, you're passionate about it, you just do what needs to be done.
Tell the listeners what inspired you to decide to run for the commissioner seat with the MWRD.
The reason why I am running for this seat, currently in the Cook County, there are over 5 million residents in Cook County. There are over 2 million residents in the Southland region, and we do not have any representation on MWRD's board. And that's a huge problem because the issues that we face in the Southland are very unique and different from the rest of the county. And I know that representation is very important because in 2019, my son contracted an environmental waterborne illness that nearly took his life, all because of the air that he breathed. So that, was very alarming for me. But at the time, my first priority was to take care of my son. It took a year to get him back healthy. But just to know that something like this is in the air and it's waterborne in our communities lets me know that this could happen to someone else. And I have, worked really hard in the community, and I want to see our community safe. And I believe I have the background, the experience to run for this seat, to be representation from the Southland so that our issues are heard and that they're at the table. And you can't do that if we're not there. So that's why I'm running. That's why I'm very extremely passionate about it, because I don't want to see any mother or father or sister or brother ever go through what I went through with my own child. So I'm running to make sure that we have clean air, clean water, healthy and equitable communities. There is a lot that we can do in the Southland. We need more green infrastructure. We need to do more on public health so that we can prevent these things from happening. We need more public education so that community members know who MWRD is, what they do, and how they impact their daily lives. And right now, similar to being a clerk, people ask me all the time, what does the clerk do? Most people don't know what these government offices do. And I think we need to shed a little more light on the things that we're doing or that these boards are doing, so community knows where do they go to turn for help. Because I know in my time of need, I didn't know where to go. I contacted the Cook County Department of Health, the Illinois Department of Health, but it was just something that, my family, we had to battle with alone. So I think that MWRD, is a great place for that, to partner with schools and STEM programs to really create and generate future chemists and environmentalists so that they can protect their communities. The future generation can do that. So that's why I'm running for this seat, and I'm very, very, very excited about it.
That's amazing. I didn't know that there was nobody represented from any of the South suburban towns on the board. It's all people from the northern parts of the county, and I'm guessing the city of Chicago.
Yes. So the closest commissioner right now, I believe, is in downtown Chicago. And so when you think about 13th Street and all the way back, and you have the village of Madison, Richmond Park, Orland Park, even the west suburbs, we do not have any representation on that board, and our needs are completely different. Up north, there are a lot of concerns, with flooding too, because that is a countywide problem, but also with the river and how that impacts Lake Michigan. But in the Southland, we have these environmental risk factors. We have flooding. We have very little green infrastructure in our parks or in our communities. I haven't seen very many stormwater projects to minimize these issues with the Southland residents. And I know that there is a master plan in place, but we need to make sure that we are seen, we are heard, and not forgotten about. And that's what I have seen in the Southland region, that we're often forgotten about. and we have our needs. We have things that we need to happen. So that is why I'm running. And I hope that the rest of the Southland feels the same way, and that they can get behind a very strong candidate like myself to join the board.
You recently went in front of the Cook County Democratic Party Slating Committee. Talk a little bit about what that experience was like for you and what that means for your candidacy.
That experience was very new to me. It was the first time that I had ever done anything like that. But I wanted to go there with the reasons that I just explained why I'm running. I really wanted to go there and have an impact on the committee people that would be making the decision, to let them know why we needed representation in the Southland. I really wanted to argue that point, and also to convey to them, although, I am very concerned about the Southland, I would still represent the entire county. But first, you have to take care of your backyard, and no one knows the issues unless they're living them every single day. So, I wanted to do a mix of that, but I thought overall it went really, really well. That was just phase one. We still have the final slating date is the first week of December. So I need to go back before the Cook County Democratic Party again, and provide a case of support as to why I'm running. And I'm hoping to be endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party to strengthen my candidacy.
And that process is it's been controversial in some quarters. Do you feel like you're committed to running even if they don't slate you?
If I'm not slated, I am definitely a party builder. One of the things that I've seen in the Southland region is how much we get done when we work together. So I am all about building bridges and not walls. I really want to help the party to elect qualified candidates. While I believe that I am the strongest candidate running at this time, I am very uncomfortable and uncertain if I will run against the party.
Fair enough. Clerk Brown, one thing I just wanted to give the Village of Madison some kudos on is one thing that I'm very passionate about is urban cycling. And the other day I discovered your preservation path and the beautiful bike facility. And I think it is something that you guys should all be proud of in the village.
Thank you so much. Over this summer, we just had we received an award. Many people don't know. I walk that path a lot with my family, and we bike ride. And the beautiful birds, people come into the village just to watch birds, and it's simple things that, living here, that you don't even know that is there, but it is very beautiful. So thank you so much for acknowledging that.
Clerk Brown, the last question we always ask our guests are, what are 2 books that have been influential or important to you as a person, and why?
I would say the Bible. I am a strong believer. And recently, the other book I read was Crushing by T.D. Jakes. And the book talked a lot about how turning your pain into purpose, and also turning pressure into power, because we know that in life everything is not always going to be perfect, and things will come, but how do you bounce back from those things and turn it to make a positive outcome? So those are some of the books. I really would encourage anyone to get Crushing. It's a great way to talk about crushing your goals, crushing uncomfortable situations that may have happened in your life, or and just making it your testimony, and how you're going to make a difference and be different, and using God to turn pressure into power.
Clerk Brown, when is the election, and where can people find you on the internet if they want to volunteer for your campaign, donate to your campaign, or just get to know you better as a candidate?
Sure. So the primary election is June 28th of 2022. Please follow me on Yumeka for Water on Facebook. And I also have a webpage, Yumeka, the number 4, water.com.
Yumeka, thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you around.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Help George stay on the Chicago Heights City Council. Go and donate today at tinyurl.com/AldermanGeorge2023. Need more George? Like his pages on Facebook. Friends of George Brassey PAC, Fifth Ward Business Alliance, Chicago Heights Bicycle and Pedestrian Resource Center, and the George Brassey Podcast.